Hey guys, that's right. Dee here is back with a brand new episode of Table Cheese with Anton Sixxx and myself. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow. And guess what? Enjoy the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Table Cheese, episode 30. I'm your host for this week, Anton Sixxx of the Cheesy Controller Podcast, and joining me as always, we have Dee of FTO Nerd Talk.
Doing this. It was late, but we're at it. How's it going, everybody? I hope it's a good week for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a big week in gaming. It's been a big couple weeks, so we got a lot of news to talk about.
Dude, a lot. A lot of fighting games too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, fighting games. Like there are a couple in particular I want to touch on, but if we were to cover all the fighting game news, we'd be here for two. Like this week's episode of Cheesy Controller Podcast was extra long because we really started getting into like the fighting game bag, and
there's three big ones everyone's talking about. There's the Tekken.
Yep.
There's Street Fighter, and there's Mortal Kombat. And
Yep.
Mortal Kombat just got like a redux. So
Yep, they rebooted it. Mortal Kombat 1. They're starting over fresh, but it's a continuation from the timeline.
But dude, calling it one, how, like, I know it's so simple, but like, how cool is that, man?
It's really cool. I like the logo treatment of like the white with like the dragon, like the color popping through. It's really cool.
Oh man, like the nostalgia hit me so hard with that, dude.
I was hoping a little bit to get a 12, because like for these long running series, like Final Fantasy 16's coming out, like I like for your long running series to have a big number on it. But I also understand like if you're gonna do a reboot, if you're gonna do like the timeline got reset. So if you're gonna do that and you want to call it one, I totally understand that.
And like that is like the big catalyst. It's like they change a lot of subtle things. They change rivalries. They change like some powers. Mm-hmm. They made Liu Kang like the new Raiden. Like they really changed a lot of the aspects of the games. And like I'm really excited to see how like the story plays out, because like a lot of the Mortal Kombat fans are there because of the story. So like that is one of the big things about it for sure. And when you're talking about like the numbers on the games, that is very comic book. Like having like the long extended numbers for each comic book that's out there, because Marvel's doing something, and DC really, like they'll bring out an issue like issue number 26 of Spider-Man, but it's a legacy issue number 9,000, like stuff like that, and I love it.
All right, so did you see the leaked character DLC roadmap for Mortal Kombat 1. One of the postings, there was a list of 6 playable characters that would be the first season of DLC.
Lay it on us. Like, spoiler alert, but lay it on us.
Yeah, so spoiler alert, this could all be conjecture, this could all be fake, but it would be really cool if it were true, and some of them in particular would be really great. So
I mean, the last time I saw a rumor about a story synopsis was the Wakanda Forever, and that was right on the money. So it could very well be real. You're absolutely right.
Right. So, and I mean, this came from a retailer listing, so it's possible they had like some back end information that they weren't supposed to publish yet.
I just found it on comicbook.com, and like I know what you're talking about. I know I heard this rumor also on TikTok, and yeah, please get into this.
So yeah. We have our 6 playable characters: Quan Chi, Omni-Man, Ermac, Peacemaker, Takeda, and Homelander.
And there's like a surprise skin too, isn't there? Like a surprise Johnny Cage skin.
Oh yeah, for Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, dude. Don't say that's so mediocre. That man's a treasure.
Yeah, I mean, Nicolas Cage is coming to Dead by Daylight soon, so.
Man, good God! Like the gaming world, like all this stuff, man. TV shows. It feels overwhelming, but like I'm here for it.
But like the trio of Omni-Man, Peacemaker, and Homelander in a Mortal
Exactly.
Kombat game, they all make so much sense.
I this is gonna
And
give Street
having
Fighter around 420.
Eagly as like part of your intro as Peacemaker, it would just be so great.
Yeah, and like the finishers, the fatalities are gonna be like crazy. All
If
of
they
them.
could get the song from the
The
intro
piece,
and have that be the, that'd be so great. And that's
I mean, that'd
something
be
they
pretty cool. I
do
can
with
buy that.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh man.
And then
Like
having like some of these characters, think about like Invincible in the next Injustice.
I it doesn't turn me off. I'll tell you that. And like having Omni Man and Homelander in the game together, and the kicker that like to all of us are probably thinking right now, if you can get like the voice actor like J.K. Simmons to be a part of this, if you can get like a
Well, I mean, it's
like a
Warner Brothers. That's like the thing of being Warner Brothers games. Like, I don't think John Cena would do Peacemaker, but you know, they have connections. Like, that's
yeah,
one thing I will say about like NetherRealm games. Is it Netherworld or NetherRealm?
another realm.
NetherRealm. So like that
Yeah,
is one thing I'll say is like when they add characters, like they do the legwork.
and like getting Anthony Starr as Homelander, like I feel like that'll be fun, man. Like because he also did like the animated The Boys show as well, so I feel like this wouldn't be too much out of the wheelhouse
Right.
whatsoever.
And I mean, like, it's kind of interesting seeing James Gunn say, like, games and, like, everything's going to be canon after a certain point. So, like,
And let's talk about this in specifics. Before James Gunn even had a whisper of being a part of DCU, the previous director of DC Comics had already said everything in the multiverse is connected to the DC universe. Just to put that out there, but it is cool to know that it is all connected and have all of it into one big family, so they can just hop around from stuff whenever they want to. It's a lot like the multiverse of madness over at the MCU, but like everything you can possibly think of is connected. And the fact they're making an Elseworld branch of the DCU, it's gonna make this even more fun for sure.
yeah. I mean, so Quantumania just hit Disney Plus, and I watched probably the first half of that, but I don't know.
What do you think?
So far so good. It
Yeah,
really
all right.
seemed like a lot of it was just like we have to introduce Kang,
Yeah.
and so yeah. So far Paul Rudd hasn't been that great in it, and like Paul Rudd was the main draw of me watching it, but you know, it's one of the few like Marvel movies I haven't seen yet, so and I'm like
I
halfway through.
I do feel like hearing you talk about this, like the way you're talking about it, it's part of what that Marvel fatigue that fans are talking about is coming into play. Like we
Yeah.
can talk about numbers all day, we can talk about like sales, like the Guardians of the Galaxy and all that, but like there's still people who are not hardcore in the comic books or comic book films, like it's taking a bit of a nosedive with certain fans. So it did seem like it was a way to introduce Kang. It's like put him out there, but I
Well, I mean,
I want
across the Spider Verse, like
yeah, right on the corner.
and that there is nothing pretty much that I am more excited for than that.
It's knocking on the door saying, "Let me in." Uh, probably get
I
another
want to
Academy
go to
Award.
Burger King and get that Spider-Man meal with like the red bun. See if it's any good.
Are you serious? That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Let me see if I can find the link to it. But it's a Burger King like across the Spider Verse, like burger meal with a red bun and let me see if this will
Some
post
breaking
right.
news.
Well, I mean, this has been. Let me see when I originally saw this and
I
posted this.
mean, I had no idea about it. Look at that.
I posted this on the 9th, so
Okay.
I'm not sure if we've recorded since then, but yeah, this is definitely. I want to go ahead and give this a try.
Well, it looks better than that pink thing that that one artist is trying to sell to people.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
the like pink sauce stuff.
The condiment? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Someone
Yeah,
posted
no.
a meme of SpongeBob and his Krabby Patties. I can see it.
Yeah, let me.
All right. I'm gonna give it a shot just to say I've done it. Like,
Yeah,
get a
I mean,
picture of
take
it.
a picture. They have the Spider-Man crown, so you could get yourself a crown. Take
And
a
nothing wrong with that either.
picture
Yeah,
for the
I'm doing all-
Instagram story, you know?
Damn right. Damn right. Like what you think, my friend.
You know, hit the gym in the Spider-Man crown. You're like, I just went to Burger King, but I'm working off the calories.
Hey, there you go.
I'd have to get it no tomato, though. No tomato, no onion. Looking at this picture.
Hey, look
like,
at that. See, you sound like me. I'm the same way, dude. No, thank you. No, thank you. Don't put that on my meal. I didn't ask for that.
Right, I'm going to specifically ask not to get that. And maybe add some bacon and mayonnaise. Oh, no, it has mayo, so.
Oh, God.
Maybe
Anton,
throw some bacon on there.
That's why we're buddies, dude. Same reason. There you go. I was looking at the store today, shopping. I saw the thick cut peppercorn bacon. Almost got it. I should have just grabbed it.
When you can, like, the thing is, you got to look out for, like, the big packs because you're getting more for, like, a cheaper rate. Buy in bulk, man.
But they shrink on you, man. Yeah.
Gotta hit the Costco. Gotta hit the BJ's. Gotta hit the Sam's Club.
Look at this guy. He knows the spots.
Hey, man, I'm a Costco man myself, but I'm also like, you know, if geographically a BJ's is better, Sam's Club seems to be like the least. I went to a Sam's Club like semi-recently, and I was just like, this is like a second-rate Costco.
And they were like, no, Costco was first, but Sam, yeah, they're like their Walmart's like older cousin.
Right. Right.
No, thank you.
They're edgy, kind of older cousin.
Exactly.
They have pizza. Their Walmart with hot pizza.
God, I love this show.
All right, so we were talking about Mortal Kombat 1. While we're on it, I want to talk about Street Fighter 6 because I've been playing this beta pretty much all day, I'd say. Like, I recorded Cheesy Controller earlier. I did some cleaning up around the house. But last night, so, and I tell this full story on Cheesy Controller, but I played about an hour, and then the Rusty Rupees were streaming, and I was in a party with them, and someone in their chat said it's going down for maintenance about the tournament mode soon, and it's going to be down for an hour. And so we're like, okay, look into it. It's like an official tweet. We're like, it's an hour of downtime. I boot up Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm just gone for the rest of the night. Like, I was in the PSN party, headset on, like, but my screen did not go back to my PlayStation, like, after I started playing Tears of the Kingdom. Because I had one of those moments in that game that was like, whew, game of the year level like moment happened to me in Tears of the Kingdom.
You're the second person to hear say that, and you wear like a Zelda shirt on top.
Oh yeah, I got this shirt when I picked up the game. So stand up for the video viewers. My Tears of the Kingdom shirt. I'm really into like the gray and gold kind of aesthetic. So this was like my Switch case for a really long time. That's a Breath of the Wild Switch case. And so, yeah, like kind of that white, like kind of cream white, gold, gray aesthetic around these two games. Because
this green nonsense they're trying to put out there, right?
Well, no, I don't mind the green. It's just kind of like with these games in particular. So yeah, I had to get it physically because
I bet. You're a collector.
And I listened to the most recent Table Cheese, so to catch people up. I wasn't going to buy this game. I was saying that it was probably going to be...
because I was going to call you out, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Madrid has been calling me out non-stop about it. He's like, you folded like a table.
Yeah, dude, for day one, you hit me up like, so I got it. I got Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, it was the reviews that dropped. So, like, the reviews hadn't dropped yet, and I was like, it's probably going to be buggy. It's probably going to be broken. It's probably going to have an inconsistent frame rate. It's
None of those
probably
things.
going to run like at a subpar resolution, and I mean, it's kind of does. Like, it's not buggy. It's not broken. I have galaxy brained my way through several things in this game, and it's just been like, nope, we're handling it with that. It's like programming insanity.
Yeah,
There's like no clipping, no like
for nothing but good
wigging
things about
out,
the game.
like
Yeah,
no, none of that, which I was expecting a lot of that, but it's running at like a pretty stable 30 frames per second. Like, some of your powers will drop the frame rate, like using ultra hand and like doing a lot of physics stuff all at once, or like I've been
the
in
Switch makes
combat
sense.
things where like I have a flamethrower on my shield, so I'll like hold up my shield and like fires, setting a bunch of stuff on fire, and then there's like wind coming up off the fire, and there's all of that going on. Like, my frame rate definitely will tank, but and I mean, it's not running at like a 1080, it's running at 900p
Right.
with dynamic down to 720. So but with all of this, like the art style and everything, it's not noticeable in a way that I thought it would be. And there are like the graphical improvements from Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild was a cross-gen game with Wii U. This is a Switch exclusive, so which hopefully
For
will
now.
be backwards compatible
Yeah,
with the
right.
next gen.
For now. For now.
But I mean,
Yeah, right now, you probably put like at least over 10 to 20 hours, right? Already.
so that's the thing. I talked about this earlier. Someone else with the Switch could tell me how much time I've spent with the Zelda better than I can tell myself. Because for
Okay.
the first 10 days after a Switch game comes out, it just tells you X amount of days. You first played this X amount of
Right.
days ago. And then after those 10 days is when it gives you you've played X amount of hours. So for the first 10 days of any big Switch game where I'm playing a lot, I'm completely in the dark about how much time I've spent, unless I stream it all, because I streamed a couple times.
Okay.
And so I know I did like 6 hours stream, I think,
Oh,
at one point.
you really
So
got into it.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It When it gets its hooks in me, the hooks are in, and it's a great game. Like, when I tell you, there was a moment, like, I don't even want to like spoil the context of the moment,
I get you.
but there was just a moment that happened that I was like, wow, this game is incredible. This game is amazing. And it wasn't like, it was semi scripted, but it was kind of something that just happened organically, and it was just like that Nintendo magic
It was
of
a good Nintendo matching like gaming. Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
It was one of those Tears of the Kingdom is now. It was like I was taking it seriously. I was kind of playing around in the world, but like seeing how this moment handled story and gameplay and all of that, just like in a split moment, like that you could have blinked and missed it. But it just, and it'll happen for probably everybody who plays the main story of this game. That's why I don't want to spoil it. And I think there are more moments like this, because this is one of only like, so there are 4 directions you can go once you make it down to the surface of Hyrule to help the
Interesting.
4 like groups of people in Hyrule. And the one that I went to first just happened to be like, cuz that region I remember how to handle the best from Breath of the Wild, cuz I spent a lot of time there
Okay.
in Breath of the Wild. So that region, but the Sky Islands just added a whole nother element to that entire region that I was familiar with, but I obviously wasn't familiar with the Sky Island part of it.
It messed with you a little bit. Wow. Like gaming wise, it messed with you. It seems like it put a little bit more nuance and
Well,
gave the game some substance, like some
so
like you weren't expecting.
Yeah, that's the thing. Changing up because you had four powers in the original Breath of the Wild. Well, essentially four. You had like two different bombs, which
Okay,
never really made a whole lot of sense. But instead of the Sheikah Slate, which I had a Sheikah Slate keychain that I wore for the longest, but it got to the point where it just like kept breaking off, and I was scared to lose it. So, but this zipper is the Sheikah Slate. That was the source of all your power in
gotcha.
Breath of the Wild. Now you have a magic arm, and so you have a whole new set of powers. You don't have the Sheikah Slate. You have the Purr Pad, which kind of acts like the Sheikah Slate, but it looks way more like a Switch. And but yeah, that this game is $70 very well spent because
I hear that in gaming. Like, I know I keep saying that. Like I'm more of a culture kind of guy, but you don't hear gamers say that about games that much anymore. Like it's like this
well,
is
like
$70 well spent in the game.
th- you see where the 6 years went when you play this game. Like as
Okay,
somebody who played and beat the original Breath of the Wild, spent probably like 60 hours with it, had a lot of fun. Tears of the Kingdom has already blown me away, and like in my opinion, is just a superior game. And
30 episodes. Have not heard you talk like this by any game, like not one game.
yeah, I
That's
mean
wild.
it. I'm not sure if we were doing it yet when I was like in the throes of playing Elden Ring. The only difference with this is there's no there's like the community, like the zeitgeist of Twitter and like
Right.
seeing clips and stuff, but like not a lot of my friends are playing it. So there's not that aspect where in Elden Ring, like if I got to something and needed help figuring it out, I could invite some of my friends literally into my game and like have them like help me explore and help me figure stuff out. Where
You got to
Tears of the
figure out this
Kingdom
well.
is like all me, just like critical thinking, you
That's
know?
true. Nintendo. You're right. Like we said before, like Nintendo man, that's straight up Nintendo type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Sure.
uh,
That's that's
like,
something else, man. It's like seeing you review a game, too. Like actually review it. Like
yeah,
that's wild.
and I really, I think I might do a full review like when I beat the game, and
Please,
that's the
please do.
thing. Usually for whatever the game I name game of the year, I have to beat it. So like 2016 when not Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey came out, I had to
Right.
beat both of them before the end of the year to be like, all right, which one of these was a better experience? It was Breath of the Wild,
That's a
but
while. Yeah.
there
A
were
good
a
game.
lot of things in Odyssey that I see why it was a contender in a lot of people's eyes.
I'm sure you did. Yeah. So I said I'm not
What
gonna
is
over it. I
it?
know it's not it's a boring game, dude. I just,
Oh
you're
no,
my son.
you played the
Yeah.
co-op. You played the bad version. I played Mario Odyssey as me
Solo.
controlling Mario and Cappy and like
I played it that way too, and it still didn't do it for me. It felt like it tried to be too much like the older Mario games and a little bit like the newer stuff, but it just didn't really capture. It felt too much like a Wii U
I haven't
for me.
like held the case. Like it feels good. Cuz like I got home, put the game in my Switch and it's just been in there and
This guy here. That sounds like the Saturday morning experience. Waking up Saturday morning, like watch your shows, eat your cereal. That's what you're talking about right now. I like
yeah,
that.
I
Right on.
mean, and that's one of the things like I really, if you haven't let your kids play Breath of the Wild, maybe let them start with that, and then
That might be
so
a good
they
idea.
can experience like the progression with Tears of the Kingdom. But like, whenever I recommend Nintendo games to you, like I know Nintendo games don't typically go on sale, but
Mm-hmm.
I try and recommend the ones that are worth the price.
I
And
think I might have to pick that one up. Like I want to play Tears of the Kingdom for myself personally, even though I didn't play Breath of the Wild, but I do want my kids to play Breath of the Wild because I think like for two of my children, the 12-year-old and the 6-year-old, they would get a kick out of that. They would
yeah,
understand the nuances of that game. Yeah.
well, and I mean, the thing is, it's like brilliant game design as far as how they teach you how to play the
Right.
game, how they tutorialize the game without it being a tutorial. It's
Absolutely.
like the game design magic of Mario, like running into a Goomba the first time. Okay, that hurts me. Jumping on the Goomba. Okay, that's how I kill that. like hitting a question block and getting coins, and then hitting the first what looks like regular break, and it's actually a question block that gives you a
Yeah.
power up. Like those kinds of things that teach you like the mechanics, like and that's the thing. I don't think the beginning might be kind of scary for like a super young kid. Like I could see.
Sound like my son. Like he would definitely probably get a little freaked out. But he
But
did play Diablo, so who knows?
well, no, this like Diablo wasn't particularly scary. Like the introduction of Ganondorf at the beginning of this game kind of had like it was like one of those semi unsettling.
Really, like that?
I wouldn't say like on a hardcore level, but
Okay.
I think
like a broadcast TV kind of level, kind of serious. I gotcha. Like there's some consequences, but you don't get too invested in what's really happening.
Well, I mean, no, it's the it's introducing the main antagonist, so, and introducing how Link gets his magic arm, and kind of explains the disappearance of Zelda, and
you got into this. You like listening to you right now. You definitely got into it.
Oh yeah, man. Like I've been. That's the thing. Street Fighter, the beta is great. I played a lot today, but yesterday, it went down for maintenance for a minute, and then I was just on Tears of the Kingdom for hours.
And see, that was my other question to you. Like, you have been playing Tears of the Kingdom. You have been playing Street Fighter. These are two extremely different games. Like night and day. Two very different games.
Very good.
And I can hear already that you've had more fun and good times with Tears of the Kingdom. But like I gotta ask,
this is just a beta for Street Fighter, and I've had a lot of fun with it. Like, but it's only 8 characters out of the 18 that are going to be in the full game in the next couple weeks. So
where does Street Fighter sit for you? Like I wouldn't say in game of the year status, but like in how you said you weren't going to buy Tears of the Kingdom, but you end up doing it. Like, is that dare Street Fighter? Like, is there a will you won't you with Street Fighter?
Well, I may have a contingency plan for Street Fighter, but yeah, Street Fighter. If I didn't have a contingency plan in place to play it, I would definitely. It'd be probably pre-ordered by now.
Should I ask what the contingency is?
I mean, I'll tell you off camera. I don't want to. I don't want to spill the beans on my sources on. But just know I will like 99% be playing that day one.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. Yeah. Right on, man.
It's been super fun. We've been in North America, like, because this probably won't be the beta will be down by the time this is out. We've been in North America, server 68. And we just been in the battle hub, fighting on the cabinets, like queuing up. We have like the higher tier, and then we have the kids table. I'm definitely at the kids table, but my Chun-Li has been heating up.
Did you customize your Chun-Li, or she?
No, so you can't customize. So you can. They have the create a character, and so it brought over my create a character from the last beta. Which was just kind of one of the default characters. And so, but I told Angelina, she came in here and she was like looking at some of the custom characters. And I was like, yeah, when this game comes out, you're going to be making me in this character creator. So
are you gonna make her in this game also?
No, I mean, I could if that's something she's into, but Street Fighter doesn't seem like Street Fighter is one that she'll kind of sit in here and watch a little bit and then go about her business.
I gotcha. It just I've been seeing the customs that people have been making on this. Like after the last episode we did, and like it got.
Oh yeah, some of the grotesque.
I mean, there's that, but like folks have also been going a little bit further with the women characters and like just making them to their fullest desires on this damn thing, and they've just been going ham with this. So, and also, what's the? I think I posted this inside of the Cheesy Controller Twitch or Discord page about the what was it? Is it the P to F to P ratio or timeline? The time like to make something.
Oh yeah, the Mythic Quest clip.
Yeah.
TTP. TTP time to penis.
Yeah. Which happened in Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah. Yeah, not at all. Tears of the
No.
Kingdom. I'm trying to think. The Humanity is. So I actually played some Humanity. That's the one game that I've played since recording Cheesy Controller that I'll talk about. I'll give you the exclusive scoop.
Can't wait.
So I played through the prologue, which like some of the levels were from the beta that I played a while back, but the beta didn't have any story stuff. There's story in this like puzzle lemmings type game with the ghost Shiba Inu, and that's something I definitely wasn't expecting, but it's really cool that it is an element because so this is coming from Enhance, which people may know from Luminous, not Luminous. Yeah, Luminous Remastered, Tetris Effect Connected, Res Infinite, and they have another game. Why am I blanking on it? Well, Tetris, Res, Humanity, Luminous. Like, if any of those games are your jam, you should check out the rest of them. Like, Tetris Effect really is, like, one of my favorite games, and everything else, like, I checked out Res Infinite in PSVR 1, and that was really cool, and Luminous Remastered is a lot of fun, so if any of those are your type of game, like the soundtrack's really good in Humanity. That's one thing I noticed playing through some of these introductory levels. I was like, this soundtrack's like a really cool kind of like atmospheric kind of. It's a really interesting sound.
I'm in a process of trying to find some video for Humanities, but like while I'm doing that, give me the lowdown of what that game is really all about. Like
It's lemmings. Like you're leading like crowds of people. Like, so okay. Crowds of people will spawn, and you have to get them to the goal. So you're playing as a little Shiba Inu, and you have commands like turn left, turn right, jump, like, and so you, like, lay out the path as the crowd's going, and you try and get enough people to the, like, destination to complete the levels. And it's all level-based, but there's also there's like bonus objectives that are like these big gold people that you gotta. They look kind of like, what's that? The Academy Award. That's like the gold person standing there. Which trophy is that? Because I know it's not a Grammy. Is that an Emmy?
Oscar.
It's an Oscar. Yeah, that sounds right. Oscar. So it like there are characters that kind of look like Oscars that you gotta that are bonus objectives that make the level a little bit more complicated to complete, but if you get them, like, you have to get a certain amount. They're like the star objectives. You know how like certain like mobile games will give you like a 3-star ranking kind of thing, and you need like a certain amount of stars to progress a certain amount. Like, so that those are the star objectives, are the Oscars, which is just what I'm going to call them now. They have a name like Goldies or something, but they're the Oscars.
I can rock with that.
So did you find some stuff? Because I kind of just want to send you like one of the original trailers. So.
Oh, go ahead, send it away. Like, we definitely got to do an upgrade in the future where we put.
Where we have this, we need a producer. So if somebody wants to come and be our like live stream producer, I'd totally be down for it. Like, I'd hook you up with all the assets. Like, we would be going fast and furious. It's just I can't gather assets and display assets at the same time. My brain doesn't.
You know how maddening that is? Oh, thank you.
I mean, I've done it before. Don't get me wrong. Some of my Twitch streams have been like super awesome with things like that, but
it's taxing after a while.
Yeah,
it really is.
But certain people just kind of have a knack for it. So.
Yeah. Like, and they're still good at all the other things too, which is like also wacky in my eyes. But no, I hear you. I hear you completely. All right, let me check out this link.
Yeah, this trailer. I'm just watching it. It's a 2-minute video of just kind of. It's really interesting, and then it gets to a certain part where it's like you start to see some of the story themes that I guess I wasn't paying attention. Where it starts talking about a story and going through these different like scenarios, like because the early part shows you like the puzzle game aspect, but I remember like one of the initial things about this is about the mentality of crowds. And so that's always been kind of like an interesting thing for me is like
Her mentality and like the idea of people working together or not working together.
or just like crowd dynamics
Mm.
because and you kind of see where some of that gets with yeah, this watching this trailer like I knew I was excited for this game, but getting my hands on it, getting like through the prologue and probably the first level of the first like real chapter of the game. So
And like you're in, you're gonna be playing more, is what you're saying to
yeah,
me.
it's definitely like it's a crowded time, and like Tears of the Kingdom is soaking up a lot of that like puzzle
Right.
brain oxygen out of the room. But I mean, it'll be that game that because it was on PlayStation Plus Extra, so that's another benefit. If anybody has that, they can just go and either extra or premium. You can just go pick it up,
I
and
hate to I hate to talk about games like in this manner, but like it does have this connotation attached to it. Like this game, is this game more like a upper or a downer when it comes like to playing? Like does it get you pumped? Does it keep you like in a mid
it's
level?
kind of like it's an analytical like puzzle brain kind of
Okay. All right.
like
It looks interesting. It looks like
yeah,
it's like
it's a
about the
smaller,
history.
it's not like AAA like big budget like,
Yeah.
but it's a smaller like Japanese made like interesting idea game. So
I
I'm
can
excited
definitely
to
see
see
that.
where it goes because
I can definitely
Tetris
see that.
Effect
Yeah.
is several years old and I still go back to Tetris Effect and will boot it up. So Humanity might be like one of those puzzle kind of games where and it has user generated content. So at which they have like people curating it so it's like recommended levels and like cool levels. So there's going to be just endless content to this game. And you know, if I see anything cool pop up on Twitter in the user generated content, I could go on and play it myself and see, you know, it has that community aspect to it. And I
Seems
know
like it.
like when a lot of people like aren't playing Tears of the Kingdom because it's just real unfortunate that it came out same time as Tears of the Kingdom because it's soaking up to like Zelda's soaking up so much of that oxygen that
Right.
it's just unfortunate timing for humanity, but I think humanity will have at least some staying power of like it's a cool thing people check out.
It was one of your picks for the year, I believe. It was one of your picks for this month.
Yeah,
Games that you should play.
the two that were really important were Zelda and Humanity. Everything else was just kind. This was a hard month because
That
pretty
was
much everything got out of the way of Zelda. So
that was actually your first two, yeah.
yeah, like the every other month this year has been relatively easy in comparison to this month. The fact that I had to put like the PS4 version of an East game shows how barren of a release schedule we had. I was like, you
For,
know, this is for somebody out there. Like, and if it's for you, I hope you enjoy it. But this is for me.
Company of Heroes made it twice to the game in a month. I think it came out on a different console, but came out before it came
Yeah,
out on
well,
PS5.
yeah, this. I think when I initially put it, it was like actually a big thing of it coming out, and this month
Mm-hmm.
it was just like, well, it got ported. More people can play it. I don't know. They're not
I
playing
think
Zelda if they're playing Company of Heroes.
they are not. They are not. And for those of you who don't know about the other games that Anton picked, he also picked Darkest Dungeon 2 for the PC.
Which is actually
Wyatt,
kind of a big thing. Like, I know that
big
game
deal.
has had early access, but Darkest Dungeon is kind of one of those. It's like gothic horror
Yeah.
survival game. And so I know Darkest Dungeon 1, like, a lot of people really liked and enjoyed that. So Darkest Dungeon 2, I think it got its 1.0 release, but I think people have been able to play it in early access before now. And I don't think it's coming to consoles just yet. And I know like it had a huge explosion when it came to consoles.
There's also YS9,
That's
Monstrum
East.
Knots.
East 9.
Is that how
Also,
you say that?
yes, East.
All right. All right. Gotta love the future. Next up is Lego 2K Drive
That
on
one
every
actually,
console.
yeah, like a lot of people have been wanting to check that out. It seems like fun, like Lego diversifying out of like what you typically think of as a Lego game, like for
Right.
this to be like a driving game, where you make your own cars out of Legos. Like that's something that everybody who's played with Legos has done. They've tried to make a car.
I think I did it last weekend. So yeah, no, I get
Right.
it. Lord of the Rings Golem. It's on every console and PC.
Yeah, that game probably sold 2 copies. Like it's a real unfortunate time. Like I remember that was like one of the first next
Yeah,
gen games we saw. It was
and everyone
like
was so excited for it to come up, but no one got it when it came.
yeah, I mean it was like Godfall was also one of the earliest next gen
No.
games we saw, and Godfall was hot garbage. So Lord of the Rings Gollum. Like if you want to exist in a fantasy world, there's a game out there this week for you.
Like hardcore, full stop. Like just go pick
Oh,
it
yeah.
up. Next up is Company Heroes 3. We just talked about that one, and the last one is System Shock on PC.
Yeah,
That's
it's the remake. It's finally out. I know, like the System Shock saga, because there was System Shock 1 and 2, and then like Irrational went and worked on BioShock, and I know like Ken Levine actually has been out there. One of my predictions for this PlayStation showcase is that we're going to get more information on Judas, which is the
mm,
new game from Ken Levine games, like
right.
Ghost
They
Story
talk about
games.
that game in the Year Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we might get more information on Judas out of this PlayStation showcase in the coming week.
Well, like it seems like there's a lot of games out there. Like it seems like you also did not pick just something that people would think they were like. You picked something like that got like some staying power attached to it. So I'll see if I can put like this list in the show notes for this episode. But as always, man, like kudos. I changed up the format so like it's like you can see the actual posters for June for next time you do it because
Well, yeah,
this is
so I was talking about this in the PSN party when I was making that list. I've kind of gotten a formula to it where there are
okay.
certain images that I like and certain images I don't like for sending you these lists. And so,
Mm-hmm.
like, one of my criteria is if it's Switch exclusive, right? It's okay that it has a Switch banner because I'll usually pull those high res images from like from the Nintendo eShop.
No, I respect that.
And so, like, if it's a Switch exclusive, it's fine. Like, I think the Tears of the Kingdom one I sent you might have had a. I'm trying to see like where these. Oh, I guess they didn't send through Discord with the images. That's what the problem is. I'm
You
like,
sent you text message this time. Yeah,
yeah.
just go around.
So looking through the images, oh man, we have been texting a lot.
Like crazy. Yeah. Yeah,
All
we've
right,
been
so
missing so
yeah,
many days on the show, man. I know.
Tears of the
That's what did
Kingdom.
it.
It was okay having the Switch logo. Humanity, like I always want to have the title of the game and something that kind of portrays the game. So like if you look at East 9 Monstrum Nox, you can see like it's a JRPG. Like you can kind of tell what the game is. And so I always want to have the title of the game in the image I send you so nobody's looking like that looks cool. I wonder which one of these games on the list it is. And then yeah, if it's
Well, I
like
appreciate that. That's something I like to do also with a comic, like making sure that the name of the comic is in the comic when I'm promoting it to people. So I get that 100%.
yeah, so that's just a peek behind the curtain on me forming that list. All right, let's see. Let me get back to these notes. All right, so 2 more big stories. Overwatch 2 canceled its PvE mode. Just
Dude, when I heard about this, I was like, "What? Are you serious? After all this time, you're gonna cancel the PvE?"
I mean I saw it coming. To be fair, when I played Overwatch 2 during season 1, I was like, watch them cancel the PvE part of this. And like sure as shit, they
There it is.
yeah. It's canceled. It's gone. They're giving you more archive style missions, but that's not what we wanted. They know what we wanted. They were offering it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Blizzard doing Blizzard things. Like Blizzard has this track record of kind of just like stepping in shit and then kind of putting out like a cinematic or a trailer or a new character or something to like muddle the message so when people type in Blizzard it's not automatically the bad stories. It'll be bad stories mixed in with new character revealed. New animated short, like, and it's like, but also sexual harassment and like being investigated for like insider trading and shit like that. So
Oh, that company, man.
right, they just keep it's just over and over and over and over. It's like I've gone past the point of even feeling bad for them because it's like you gotta at some point you gotta take accountability. You can't be shredding documents that people are trying to subpoena from you.
What the hell was that all about, right?
And that's just one of the things, like the Cosby Suite, like the just having to rename Cole Cassidy from McCree because like the real Jesse McCree is a scumbag. Like, yeah, Overwatch. Like, I feel bad for it because I talked about it in our Discord where it's like Overwatch was one of those all-time games for me.
Yeah.
Like, I have Overwatch posters on my wall. I have Overwatch figures up on my shelf. Like, Overwatch was one of those. Like, it was a hangout spot. It would just be like when I play games. Like, there are certain games that like Angelina like periods of time where she's assuming I'm playing whatever game. So like it'll be Final Fantasy, it'll be Monster Hunter, it'll be right now Zelda, it'll be whatever, you know? For a long time, that game that she just assumed I was playing was Overwatch. I mean, she was right. It's not like she was like observant of what was actually, but yeah. Overwatch was one of those games for a very long time. But all the people that made Overwatch special in the early days of Overwatch 1, because I played Overwatch day 1, like technically day -1, because GameStop let us pick up our copies early because servers were going live the day before the actual release date. So we went to GameStop, picked up our physical copies, went home, put it in our PS4s, and played Overwatch. Like, I remember it being a huge thing. But they left Overwatch 1 out to dry for literal years and then like starved for content, like in a horrible meta, and then released Overwatch 2 with the promise of PvE coming, changing up the meta, like completely removing a tank slot. Like it does make it faster, and yeah, they have a lot more cosmetics and a lot more content, and they're getting like stuff at a like healthy cadence, but the magic is gone, especially in Overwatch for
all
me.
Those things while you saw this coming, like you said, like you saw this coming after hearing all like the grievances that you just like rattled out there. I can see why you thought this was gonna happen eventually. Like it all.
Well, I mean, the reason that they announced it is because they had bent the knee to China, and everybody was pissed off about that because there was a Hearthstone player, Blitz Chung, who like won the Hearthstone like world championship and said free Taiwan, and they like took his prize money, like revoked, like banned him from tournaments, like fired the broadcasters that were just there.
Right.
They did all of that, like, and then it was BlizzCon, like right before BlizzCon, and then BlizzCon came around, and they're like, people were outside protesting, and they were like, we're going to try and get back some goodwill. So they announced Diablo 4. They announced Overwatch 2. They talked about, like, people... There was a playable build of Overwatch 2 at that BlizzCon that had PvE campaign content that people played. And they spent so much time and effort and energy and developer, like... That's one thing we talked about with Diablo, of, like, seeing the developer burnout happening actively, like
right. You guys talk about on choosing controller quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, like seeing all of that with Diablo, like Overwatch. I don't know. I just can't feel good about playing that game anymore, And
It
like,
has so much like so much stigma attached to it. Like Diablo doesn't have like the same kind of scrutiny
well,
as like
yeah,
SE.
because the Jesse
Some,
McCree,
I
that's
mean,
a
it does.
scumbag that made them rename the character, also was a lead developer on Diablo 4, was in a
Wish,
management role. So,
wish they've changed. Yeah, quite a few times.
so
So no, yeah, I guess yeah. And I'm talking on my ass on that one. You're right.
yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like going back, I've been friends with Jalen since the third grade, and I remember Jalen talking about wanting to get into game development. And like as a kid, his dream job was working at Blizzard. Now, like, there's no way. There is no way. Like, they would have to
Just can't
cut
do it.
a significant check. And I mean, even in that case, I don't think
You have to
Jalen
fire some
would
people
do
too.
it.
Yeah,
Like, just
a
on
lot of
like
people have to
a
lose their jobs.
well, I mean, that's kind of why certain that's why I kind of hope Microsoft takes like the acquisition goes through because I feel like
That's not looking too good either, though.
well, I mean, it got approved in a few places. It's just the CMA uh saying that they would have like a unfair advantage in cloud, and then Microsoft has now like signed deals where they're like, all right, if you own any of our games anywhere, you get a free voucher to take it to a cloud service of your choosing, and you don't just have to play it on our cloud service. So I think like
Oh wow,
Xbox is actually making moves to like have the CMA like let the deal go through. So it'll be
dude,
interesting
I'm
to
telling you,
see.
like a lot of these companies to take Bob Iger approach. Like just give the people what they want, and they will give you money. Like Bob Iger gets that, and he is like it's pouring itself out in other companies. I've never been one for Disney. I've always said Disney go kick rocks and head under a rock. But like hearing that what you're talking about with Microsoft, and like I've heard the same thing also, and kind of funny that like Microsoft is trying to be more open and accessible to all players, like and not trying to like take their money and then screw them over. That seems to be like the new approach, like the holding companies accountable, giving people exactly what they want, and stop trying to like they do like the old 80s 70s corporate hustle and bustle of taking money from people. Like it's a weird time for business. Like from the outside looking at it, it's an interesting look right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, the last thing is we got a big PlayStation showcase. We haven't had a PlayStation showcase since 2021, and we have
Oof.
one coming out on Wednesday. What's Wednesday's date? Probably should know that. The 24th.
It'll help
So
us.
May 24th, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm going to just 100% be at work. And I'm going to get all the tweet notifications, see all the big news, but then just go home and like the second I get home, instantly bring up the 4K like thing, have it full screen on my monitor and watch it all the way through because last
Dude,
time they brought their
credit
big
time.
guns. Like
It did. Like you sent it to me, I had to I had to stop my work and just watch it because it was that interesting. So yeah, and it was for Suicide Squad, a game
no,
that's
that
been
was a state
postponed.
of play. State of plays
That was
are a
state of
tier
play.
below a PlayStation showcase.
What
Like
was the last showcase about?
the last showcase, let's see. We got Gran Turismo 7, the first look at God of War
Wow,
Ragnarok, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection. They announced Chia. They gave Deathloop a new trailer. Blood Hunt,
I
Vampire the
remember those.
Masquerade Blood Hunt. Guardians of the Galaxy got a story trailer.
That's right. I remember
Ghostwire
that too.
Tokyo, GTA 5 and online coming to PS5. Alan Wake Remastered was announced. Rainbow
Dude,
Six
this is something
Extraction,
crazy.
Forspoken, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Project Eve, which we now know as Stellar Blade, and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. So, like, those were big guns.
Yeah, and now it's 2020, 2023. What are they gonna show us this time?
Right,
Yeah,
like we're probably getting a release date for Spider-Man. We're probably going to get like an actual trailer for Wolverine. There's a
yeah.
bunch of stuff like there are rumors about a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. So at Sony Santa Monica, Cory Barlog worked on God of War 2018, and I went off the deep end earlier, and I've been getting called out for it in Discord calls and PSN parties for the rest of the day since I said these words. But Cory Barlog of Sony Santa Monica, uh, he's been working on something since God of War 2018 came out that wasn't God of War Ragnarok. And so it'll be,
Oh,
and this would be about the time for him to talk about the next big Sony Santa Monica project, which could be
you
really
think so?
interesting. Yeah. And
Like
like
he
my
had to have been working on that prior to like the game release then.
Well, like yeah, probably in like the early concepting stages, but it probably got into
Mm,
pre-production around 2018. And I mean, it's been
gotcha.
5 years since then, and they've already had the team put out Ragnarok, and so now it's probably all hands on deck on the Corey project.
Right.
My crazy theory from earlier was that maybe he's making a Castlevania, like a third-person action adventure in the style of God of War Castlevania game. And while that would be really sick, that
Yeah.
is crazy talk. Like, that is most likely
For
not going to happen. Do not take those words to the bank. That is not one of my predictions. That
Didn't they try stuff like that before with Castlevania and it didn't work out that
Lords
well?
of Shadows, like, it has mixed reception. Like, some people
Yeah.
look back fondly on Castlevania Lords of Shadow. But I mean, like, off the
I'm
anime, I want a game based on the Netflix anime. That's all I like. That's just me purely
respect.
being selfish.
Respect.
Cause
No, I
that
mean,
shit's
like, hey,
sick.
man, it is. The story is highly incredible. And, like, you can definitely get yourself immersed into it. And playing, like, in that aspect of gameplay would be incredible. So, no, I hear you. I hear you completely. It lends itself well to a Final Fantasy open world MMORPG kind of space. So, no, I get it. But with the God of War aspect to it. So, I hear you 100%. I have been watching a trailer while we were talking. This trailer is called Black Myth Wukong.
Oh
Have you
yeah,
seen this?
yes. I
Oh
have
my
very
god.
much seen Black Myth Wukong. Um,
This looks freaking incredible, dude. Like
yeah,
excuse the swearing. You got two swears this show. Sorry folks, but I'm watching this. Like you're playing as the Monkey King, first off.
yep.
Like if those of you don't know, the Monkey King is top tier, like god badasses. So and watching like the gameplay with his staff and like how he uses it and manipulates it as he fights, got a lot of
That'd be
it
a
has like
really cool
some
one to see. I doubt we'll see it at the showcase on Wednesday, but that'd be a cool
yeah,
one to like for PlayStation to kind of get the marketing like as far as to a Western audience, like have that be like a title associated with PlayStation, even if it's not exclusive. Like
bro,
do
it's
the brand
gorgeous.
deal. Like that'd
It's
be
so
a
gorgeous.
yeah. It's probably not gonna look
Shit.
that good on release. Just fair warning.
It's
Like
four it's
looking at
4K 60 frames per second.
what you're looking at is at best a tech demo. That is not like real in-engine like
Gameplay.
gameplay. Like you're that's probably a CG like considering it's been so long since that clip originally came out. Like
August 19th, 2021.
yeah, so been almost
Yeah, you could
two
be right.
full years. So like, and that we haven't really gotten any additional updates since then. Like, but that'd be a cool one to see. You know what I'd really
Speaking of
like?
Unreal Engines, also,
What's up?
you also, I think I sent you the link to that Superman game that people are rumoring about.
There's always until Warner Brothers, because that's the
Every
thing.
like
Warner
year and a half.
Brothers games leak. Like we knew about Mortal Kombat. We know about like we know the stuff that's coming out of Warner Brothers games for the most part. You know.
Yeah,
So
worse than Sony.
well, Sony hasn't said shit, so we don't know shit.
I mean that big leak a few years back.
Well, I mean, the biggest leak in recent history is the Nvidia leak, where Nvidia GeForce Now, their streaming service, leaked a bunch of games, like, and a lot of them have come to pass. Like, it's a surprising, like, if I could find the NVIDIA GeForce leak.
If we did get a new Superman game, how would it have to play out for you? Like how would it look in
I'd
your eyes?
have to
Like would it have like
go, like, I'm not a big Superman fan, but Greg Miller
of
is.
course.
And so Greg
I
Miller pitched what his Superman game would be a long
all
time
right.
ago, like on a podcast. Like, I think it was like a Kind of Funny Game Fest, like way back in the day, where he pitched
Tell it
his
to me.
ideal Superman game. And I don't remember the pitch. Like, I'd want to go find that clip just to like give you that. And I recommend people look up that clip. But like the Greg Miller Superman game, like with him being a Superman fan, and just like the reception that got, like that kind of went viral. Of let's see,
It's on here. It's definitely on here. It's on kind of funny games. It's out there for sure.
well, let's see this video
Kind of funny
4 years
Gamecast.
ago. Yeah, 4 years ago, where like I suggest you watch this one that I'm about to send you at like 1.5 speed later on and see what you think of Greg's pitch for a Superman game. Because like I said, I'm not the biggest Superman fan. I'm not the biggest DC fan. So for Greg Miller, who
Well,
is like,
I'm working on them, folks. I'm working on them. Like I'm trying to convert them. Anton's very stubborn when it comes to
I
anything that's not
mean, I'm
superhero
down
related.
for
So
Batman. I'm
and
here for
Spider Man,
Batman.
like you're all over Spider Man.
Yeah, I do prefer Spider-Man over Batman, but
You bought his comic. You're gonna get that the digital.
but
For those of you who don't know, also
there wasn't a there weren't any Batman comics that I saw, at least, because I would have grabbed a Batman. I didn't want to go all Marvel. It
I
just
mean,
kind of sort of worked out that way, but yeah, I would have gone for a Batman comic, especially something like, with a cool art style, like, yeah.
they're phasing him out. Like they're phasing out like the Trinity. They're trying to bring in Dick Grayson as a new Batman.
Oh yeah, I
And,
did
yeah.
see some like people talking about Nightwing becoming
Mhm.
Batman, and yeah, I did see some Twitter
Like he wouldn't
discourse.
be Batman himself, but they want him like to take the position of Batman and like have him be like the new face
Right,
of like
of
the
like the
Batman.
Gotham kind of side
Mhm.
of the universe.
He's a capeless character, so I guess I can get it if that is the future of superhero. Just wearing like a onesie, no cape, no real intimidation. So
You know what
I
they
get
could
it.
do? They could give him a cape.
I'm here for capes.
Yeah,
Like I know like all
Edna
people who
mode.
watch
There's
Invincible.
yeah, right. There's the Edna mode from the Invincibles of
I love
like,
capes.
but like that capes are no. But I'm not against a good cape.
I mean, it works sometimes, man.
Right? In Fortnite, like that was one of the cosmetics that I wanted them to add for a really long time, was just a cape. Just put a cool cape in it.
Like we like dusters because of the same reason. It gives off that same energy,
But I mean,
that cape energy.
Spider-Man not having a cape also works. So,
It does.
but then
But
there's the Cape Crusader, where like the cape, it's part of the shtick, The cowl,
let me
the utility belt, the Batmobile, like the cape's part of that.
now agreed. Spider-Man not having a cape works. Like I agree with that completely. But not many people remember that Black Panther used to have a cape, and he had like a cape
He has
that was like a
the
short cape.
iteration of him in Fortnite has a cape, and it's really cool.
Is it the long cape or is it the short cape?
It's long. Let me see.
It's long. See, he has like it was just hard to find nowadays. I don't think like the artists or Marvel wants people to see him with that short cape. He used to have a short cape that came up to the bottom of his shoulder blades. And like if you can imagine that with his big collar and the cape, I thought it was the coolest thing I saw on Black Panther. A lot of fans completely disagree with that, but okay, that is long. Wow.
Yeah, but like that's kind of like that's sick. I like it.
I mean, it looks kind of cool. I don't know. I think I'll be one of those ending people on that cape right there, but that's me talking. I found a shirt cape. I found a shirt cape from Black Panther, and I'm gonna send it your way. I just nerding out, man. It's always a good time just nerding out about absolutely nothing.
Oh yeah, that's like this design's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool, right? I,
Like,
I posted something like this like a while back. Fans hated it. They thought like giving Black Panther a cape was the worst idea ever.
well, I think their design issue with it more so are the gloves and the
Okay.
mask. Because
Okay.
the cape and the chest and like you could probably redo the pants. Like I'm not even sure what's going on. Like the pants, the gloves, the mask. If you were to like give those like take the gloves, mask, and pants off of the one that I posted, and
Okay.
keep the chest, keep the like shorter cape with the popped collar. Like yeah, I'm with it.
It can work, right? It can work.
Yeah, but
I
I
want I
think
want to take it
people's
back.
hate on this, I don't think it had a lot to do with the cape. Like these gloves are horrible. Like if we're gonna really get into like judging fashion sense on superheroes, like
I have never done that.
I watched My
I've
Hero
always
Academia, and that was a whole thing on YouTube of like destroying these kids' like hero outfits.
costumes. God's fans are awful sometimes. I've never done that. Like I actually made like a staple not to talk about like comic book character costumes, but I think it's probably about time I start doing that. I think it's about time like
Yeah,
I
like
give
call
my
out the
honest
things
critique.
you like you know. Shout
Yeah,
out the
because
artists that do it well in your opinion. You know, it's a whole angle to take on the superhero thing. It's like looking at the designs of the superheroes
mm-hmm,
and the evolutions of these suits and the
they
aspects
have
you
come
would
a long
take. Because like both of us just posted the exact same character,
way.
but two completely different iterations. So like
Too completely.
design, and that's like an evolution thing, and like but since it being the same character, like identifying the aspects you like calling out the ones you don't like, and
Yeah,
giving feedback on how they could improve it. Because like there are Batman,
that's
like Batman Beyond, like if they want to go the Nightwing route and make him Batman, that's not Batman, right?
that's Lobo. I just sent you a picture of Lobo, and like the picture I sent you first, which did not load, sadly enough, it's the first iteration of Lobo,
Oh
and
yeah. Okay.
hopefully this one works. That like the guy who's wearing the purple and orange, that's what Lobo used to look like. And like as soon as you see that picture, he scratches his head. For those of you who don't see the video, as soon as I sent you the picture of what Lobo used to look like, for those of you who know what the original looked like, that was a proper response. Like to seeing what Lobo used to look like and what he looks like now. And like you talk about like character throughout the ages, there was a time when New 52 started, and this also is what Lobo used to look like. No more than probably 6, 7 years ago. So like I did not like that aesthetic for Lobo. Like having him like be like a skinny Edward Cullen type guy. Not a big fan of it. I think you're right. I think I need like the hop on like the costume changes of characters and just do maybe some YouTube videos about this because I've been meaning to do more YouTube videos because that's where all the Instagram people are going. I'm not sure how much you know about like the politics of Instagram and Facebook, but there's a shift happening right now. A lot of people are leaving Instagram because they had bonuses for at least almost a year where they were paying people to create content. They are no longer doing that, and people say we are done with Instagram. We're going to go to YouTube.
Yep.
So
Because YouTube Shorts like are
they
monetizable
will pay
now.
you. Yes, they are. So yeah, if you wonder why like all your favorite content creators are leaving Instagram, that is why.
I mean, I really can't say I have favorite content creators on Instagram. Like Instagram is a social network for me. Like
Yeah,
I DM with you. I'll like my wife sends me clips all day every day. Like I talk to people that like I met through Controller Eyes. Like I do networking. It's like
right.
I use my Instagram story and Instagram DMs and like way more than I use it to follow content creators. You know.
feel like the fans are gonna like, or like the users are gonna bring it back to that level. But for a while, it was just like it was a way for content creators to really get their names out there, to network also with other brands as well. I can get their name out there through those brands also. But as of late, uh, I've been getting surveys on Instagram, and they've been trying to make Instagram more and more like TikTok. So they're gonna probably get rid of the feed pretty soon. You're gonna be seeing that. They're gonna like make it like straight videos, less pictures, and you just said yourself like it's a social media platform, like the way they like to talk to people. I really think like Zuckerberg's gonna shoot himself in the foot with all these changes he's trying to do, like to be more like TikTok, and it's really gonna hurt him more than help him in the future. And I think like a lot of the content creators are gonna get hurt by this too. But I've been not trying to take a year like to understand social media platforms a lot more, because like they all been changing so much. Like with Pinterest, I used to be on there for a while, and like that was a surge of just new everything. And then no more than a year later, Instagram did the very same thing that Pinterest did. It just if you're on these like these social media platforms enough, you see the patterns and all of them. It's very wacky. I know,
like the ebbs and flows and the copying and the
yeah. Thank you for hearing me. Like I know I just ranted a lot, but
no, I mean like that's definitely I'm gathering something for like the final thing that I want to sign off with. So, but yeah, you definitely see like a history, like because social media has gone back for a while, and you see people like introducing new things and like new things coming up with interesting features that get copied by the bigger guys, but not as well implemented. Like it is kind of like a cyclical thing of. So, like, yeah, and understanding those trends and, like, understanding when to check out and when to, like, go all in. And, like, that's part of, like, the social media content creator game.
Yes, it is. It's like, so if you are a part of the social media, I know, like, most content creators, more like than actual casual fans listen to the podcast, is more content creators listen to this podcast. If you are invested solely in Instagram right now or Facebook, sell and go to YouTube, like or TikTok. TikTok is always giving you money for making videos, like always. So, and don't ever in your life buy a blue check. Don't waste your time unless you want to complain to the people who you're giving money to. Don't ever in your life buy a blue check for Instagram or Twitter or Facebook for that matter. Just don't do it. It's a waste of your time.
There's still a part of me that wants to do it for Twitter.
I get it.
There's still that part of me.
I understand that, and like I got that urge sometimes too. I won't deny that because I've been wanting to get it for a good minute, but I've been seeing like the ratio. Like it doesn't really help like your surge or followers. It just like it's a status thing, and for those who already know like how Twitter works, they know that you bought like the check for Twitter when it's there. So. It's all about what you want to do at the end of the day. No shame to anybody out there who thinks about doing it, but like there's a lot of stigmas attached to it now. If you do it, Elon Musk really ruined the game for a lot of people with this, man. He just did.
All right. Well, the last thing I want to talk about on this, like, and it's kind of going back to Tears of the Kingdom, but they introduced an entirely new video game waifu with Purah. Inventor.
Oh, you gave me a link. Pad. Beautiful.
Yeah.
You saved me. Oh my god.
Right. So new video game waifu.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
And I'm sure we've talked about the internet rules before, and that's why I was over here like scrolling. I was like, gotta find something that I can share, but.
Did you do your research? Did you go like to the rules and like?
No, I just typed in her name into Twitter, and so there was already
Oh.
But I sent you some like the official images are in the second one. The first one's some fan art, but there's a lot of fan art. Is
there on Twitter or on Instagram? I usually go
Twitter. I'm not going to be the one to recommend anybody type in her name.
It's like
Twitter.
that.
But
all right. Good God, the fan art is insane. I'm currently on Instagram looking at fan art because like that's what Instagram started out as.
Instagram
like
typically will be safer for work.
Yeah.
Twitter, Twitter
like you're
goes
right about
out
that.
of that
Twitter's
realm
not.
real fast.
Yeah. Elon Musk is like, no. We want more porn. Give us more porn. So yeah.
All right.
Then you got it. So, I don't have a sign off. For this episode.
Well, yeah, I'm hosting. So remember, you guys can follow me around the internet, cheesycontrollerpodcast.com, on Twitter at Anton Sixxx with 3X's. I've been streaming on Twitch. So follow me on Twitch. Turn on those notifications. You're not going to get flooded out, but you'll see when I go live so you can watch, come have a good time, hang out. I usually, when I'm streaming off my Switch, I'm in a Discord call that you can just hop in and chat with me like live. As long as you are lurking, I need those views. Please and thank you, people.
Yeah, apparently texting is a better option than hitting them up on Discord. I just learned that today. So.
Well, Discord DMs when I'm using Discord on my PC, which that was the thing.
Okay.
I was playing Street Fighter Ranked, and so like I was focused in on like the game monitor and wasn't like Discord was up. I was in the FGC channel, just kind of like idling, but yeah, I didn't see it. But
no worries.
During the day, if you go into our Discord server and like send a message, odds are I'll see it and respond to it. So
yeah, you're on top of it during the day for sure. When you're not like immersed in the game, you're definitely on top of this.
Yeah, when I'm not actively playing something, like you're gonna have a higher chance of getting a response.
Also, I've been checking out this Pura on Instagram and on Twitter. If you like waifus, definitely give this one a look. This is a DFTO stamp approval of like waifu. Like, yeah, you called it, my friend.
Yep, new anime waifu material. God. And she's over 100 years old, so
even better. I talk too much sometimes. Good God. Anyways, I'm D of FTO Nerd Talk. I hope you guys are having fun. All
right. Until next time, keep it cheesy.
And take it easy.
All right.
Hey guys, D here of FTO Nerd Talk. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTO Nerd Talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.